Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Turkish with me. We've just lost our first game at home in the league to West Ham 2-0. I don't even know where to start. I mean, the first defeat to West Ham. No goals scored from Arsenal. 2 by West Ham, Turkish.
You're meant to be asking me the questions. You're putting the mic here like you think I know what to say, bro. You fire away.
No,
bro.
you know what to say. You must listen. What do you make of the game? You were blaming on the match live. You said the manager. You know, we praise him, and everyone does when we get things right. We control the game. Today, you kind of edged towards the manager in the sense of we got it wrong today. But I think there was more. There was some ref decisions that you might focus on, you might not. Player performances. What really went wrong?
Look, obviously, the context behind what I'm going to say now is what I've been saying all season. And that's me being torn between this new controlling style and wondering why we don't seem to create enough or are fluid enough. Now, the first thing people are going to shout, well, we created enough today to score 2-3 goals. So sure, but West Ham done enough to score 2-3 goals as well. They missed a penalty at the end. So all in all, cool. But against Brighton, we missed hella chances. We should have won by more. Against Aston Villa, we missed hella chances. We should have won that game. We got nothing out of it. So 2 losses in the last 3. It doesn't read well. And listen, that point at Anfield was a massive point. But when either side of a point at Anfield, you're losing games against Aston Villa and now today against West Ham, that's not great. And City have just gone through their worst patch in years. Maybe their worst patch since Pep's first season. Maybe their worst patch under Pep. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely their worst patch since Pep's first season. And basically, we're on level on points because they've got a game in hand. They're 3 points behind us. It's not good enough because now you're looking at it like, all right, the halfway mark. We've changed up tactically. We're a different side now to what we was last season. And at the halfway mark, we haven't capitalised on Man City's poor form towards the latter stage of the 19 games. But we're essentially level going into the last 19. Now, we've seen for ourselves in a title race, and we've seen for ourselves in title races with Liverpool, that City, when they're in a position to take something, come the halfway mark of the season, they take it. Come May, more often than not.
Yeah, but not an argument
Liverpool
to say...
didn't leave them in a position to come take something halfway through the season, and that's the one league title they didn't win.
That's true.
When Liverpool ran away with it. So when I look at their poor form, Man City's, and I couple it up with the trajectory that we was meant to be on, it doesn't sit well with me that we're level on points with Man City, or okay, we're 3 points above them with them having a game in hand. Yeah. A lot of people will say, listen, City are the best team, they were the treble winners. You know, it's okay to be level with them. It is okay if you haven't got much ambition. At the end of the day, we need to capitalise on what they failed to get in the last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
You know, we needed to. Now, essentially, we need them to have another poor patch of form in the next 19 without us having a poor patch of form.
That's also true.
You know? So I'm not saying it's over.
Yeah.
I still think we'll be 100%. I'm not saying it's over. What I'm saying is a lot of people like to say we're a better team this season than last. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And I dare someone in the comments to tell me why we're a better team. Why? Because our field tilt is a lot better. Because that's probably what it is. Field tilt or XG or fucking XA or some shit. Some algebra makes us better. But the reality is, with our eyes, we're not a better side than we was last season. Now, I'm a lot more confident this season about a Premier League title than I was last season. Why? Because I look at City and I think, well, I don't think they're the same team. But they've just come back off the Club World Cup. Forget about jet lag, forget about the travelling, forget about all of that. They've come and beat Everton 3-1 away after going the goal down.
Were other teams worse last season, though? Because you're saying we weren't, we're definitely not better than we were last season, but were other teams worse so we look better, or are other teams better this season? Because there is more people in the mix. Listen, City can go on a run and just take this league by storm, but there is other teams in the mix this season that are taking off points off the big clubs.
When City dropped off, Liverpool didn't worry about other teams and what they was doing. When City dropped off, Liverpool capitalised. Yeah, so we can make excuses now and wonder if West Ham are a better side this season, if Aston Villa are a better side this season, Newcastle and so on. Some, yes, Aston Villa, yes, West Ham, yes, Newcastle, no. You know, so across the 3 losses, it's not 50-50 because there's 3 losses, but there's arguments for and against there.
Yeah.
Essentially, we are not a better team than we was last season. Now,
but can we get? We can still go on. Yeah.
But we can't win something if we have a few more of those in our back pockets in the next 19 games. That's for sure. Because essentially, it's not just City we're fighting with now. Liverpool have primed themselves for yet another title race. So as much as I've focused on City, we can't forget about Liverpool. Liverpool have been there, done that. A lot of their players have been there, done that. Yes, they're going through a transition where they've brought in 3 new midfielders, but we've brought in 2. You know, we brought in 2, and that's not an excuse I'm making for us, because there's no excuses for us now. We need to kick on.
100%.
Bare minimum, you challenge again. The bare minimum, because I won't accept falling off and not being there come May.
Falling off and winning a trophy, still not acceptable?
If it's a Champions League, calm. If it's an FA Cup, listen, I love FA Cup. FA Cup's our thing.
Yeah.
But Arteta will say himself, the Premier League and Champions League is the ones we and Arsenal should really be after.
Yeah, and that's the right standards to have. Let me hone in on one player, but you can talk about others, because there wasn't, across the board, we can look at performances, but you're a man that says this man is 7-8 before he even steps on the pitch today. That might differ for the first time actually this season. Declan Rice today, Turkish.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Declan Rice was poor today, but I think the goal we conceded set West Ham up nicely.
Cool.
Because the goal we conceded, their first shot on target, they could now focus on sitting back. And Declan Rice is not a conductor. He's not an orchestrator. He's not someone that's going to, pick a fine pass between the lines and create a chance. He's a guy that's going to pick out spaces in midfield and run through. Yeah. There was no spaces in midfield because we conceded early and West Ham, done their job.
Yep.
So yes, that was Declan Rice's poorest performance of the season, and he conceded a penalty at the end. I know if that penalty went in, the opposition fans would have, made a meal of it. But at the end of the day, it was his poorest performance. I still don't look at him. I'm looking at the attack again.
Yeah.
Because Odegaard started well. I think he was the best of the lot.
Yep.
Created a few openings, but Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, not good enough. Trossard, not good enough. It's not the first time I'm saying this either this season. So something has to change. I'm hoping it clicks.
Yeah.
And when it clicks, we can shift between our controlling side and our more dynamic side that we showed last season. Yeah. And if we do click, and that does happen in January, February, March, then I'm very confident we will be there come the end of the season. But if this continues,
say goodbye to you.
We could listen. A couple of weeks ago, it looked very good. After Anfield, it looked very good.
Yeah, I was confident. Yeah.
It's so tight at the top now that 2-3 bad results in a row, or 2-3 bad results in 5-6 games, you could be off the pace completely. So now we've had a couple bad results. We need a period where we're back on track, winning games consistently again, or a couple more bad results in January. We might find ourselves 4 or 5 points behind.